This is a book review of Conan the Barbarian. This is the original Marvel years, and it's all the colour books, Barry Windsor Smith, etc. And there's the back, and this is one of the best omnibuses ever. This is how omnibus should be done as far as I'm concerned. So there's the spine. So you can see the spine there. I'll just go the other way. Now it's got obviously Roy Thomas, Barry Windsor Smith, and it's the colour work all the way through. I think it's just beautiful. And this book is a real hefty tome, about 780 odd pages, and weighs a ton. It is quality all the way through. So I'm just going to quickly run through it. This came out in 2018. It's amazing. 2 years already. Unbelievable. However, obviously a vast number of other people were involved. You've got Barry Windsor Smith, Dan Adkins, Sal Buscema. You've also got Gil Kane, Sal Buscema, John Buscema, etc. As well as, of course, the amazing Roy Thomas. Now, Roy Thomas, Frank puts in, really goes full on with this. You've got a superb introduction from Roy Thomas that just covers vast amounts of detail. This book, so it's just, this is staggering. If only all omnibus editions were as good as this, I would be buying them all, because this is amazing. And then you've got, of course, got the map, and then you get into Chamber of Darkness. This was the first issue, slightly before the Conan. So 6 months before Conan came out, you had this Conan-like character, and it's interesting. Star. Then into Conan. The inking, the artwork, the restoration, the colour, everything about it, I think is superb. It's just beautiful all the way through. Of course, you've got the initial Conan story. When you look at them now, they do look quite primitive in comparison with when you look at the new Conan Chronicles. But I still think these books are full of magic, literally, because quite often Conan is always battling sorcerers. He's always going to wizards, various cities that have all got whole loads of different dubious things going on. But just beautiful artwork, beautiful stories. And the Hyborian page there, Lair of the Beastman. You've got the Beastman. Beastmen, I should say. You've got that first and second issue. Just brilliant stories. Just classics. And you've got Conan, the Grim Grey God. I love that story. That was just a real epic. Again, they do look very odd now, because I've been reading the Conan Chronicles. If you've been looking at the Conan Chronicles, the Dark Horse ones, they are far more brutal, far more... Actually, to be honest, I never thought I would actually turn around and say it. I think I prefer the Dark Horse ones, all those the Conan Chronicles. I would love to see those come out in omnibus editions. But of course, that would mean I have to go and buy them again. An expense. This is just a stunning story. And then into Tower of the Elephant. So it covers a lot, obviously, of the R.E. Howard stories. Now, another thing that the Conan Chronicle are very good. Story maybe 3, 4, 5, 6 stories. So you've got a lot of development. In this, a lot of story is crammed into very rapidly into one complete story. But it's still amazing artwork from Barry Windsor Smith. I think Barry Windsor Smith is just the most amazing, lovely, the elephant here. And then you go on to the next story. And of course, they all have the covers. This is Conan 5. This is one of my favourite. And actually the first Conan I ever saw. Conan, the Claws of the Tigress, Zukala's daughter. Just an absolutely stunning story. I love that story. And the artwork just gets better and better. Barry Windsor Smith started out in a particular style, but by the end, I think the artwork was just amazing. Thoth Amun. Jenna. It's beautiful all the way through. It's just page after page. You've also got the classic rogues in the house. Again, another story that's... Another thing I really love about these, of course, the omnibus editions, you've always got the letters pages. I love the letters pages. And also the Mighty Marvel checklist, which are always good as well. Dweller in the Dark. Great story. Now, this is an unusual one, because this one apparently was... Roy Thomas was unhappy with the work, apparently, and did actually print the black and white, and the black and white is in here as well. So you've got, I still think it's a perfectly decent story, but you can certainly see it's not maybe as crisp as it should have been. Web of the Spider God. Again, the artwork is just getting absolutely awesome by this point. Sword called Stormbringer. I loved the Elric stories. Coming of Elric, Stormbringer. I got all the Michael Moorcock books. I love those. So again, more and more brilliant. And then, of course, Gil Kane, one of my favourites as well. So this book has just got it all. Barry Windsor, I think is amazing. You've also got the brilliant Gil Kane. Obviously, sometimes Barry Windsor, there might have been issues. He couldn't get the artwork, whatever. I'm not certain in this case what the reason was. But I just love this story. Just absolutely brilliant Gil Kane. Then into Barry Windsor Smith again. Just the end of this book is just full of just beautiful artwork. Stunning artwork. You've got Conan, this is 22, Shadow of the Vulture. Just love the stories. Many of these stories, actually quite, when I look through them now, I think, oh, this is very similar to the one I read in the Conan Chronicle. So there's a lot of the stories you think, oh yeah, that's great. That was, of course, there's some that obviously don't overlap. So now you've got, weirdly, they've got one of the stories at the end. They've got the John Buscema at the end. So they do go into John Buscema. This is the one here, the last one, issue 26. And I think it's just stunning. You've got the lovely mirror which shows the future for Conan. Next thing you got the bonus. And the bonus section is worth the price, I think, for the whole book. Frankly, the bonus section is the best. I mean, the bonus section starts actually 606. 606. You go through all the way through. You've got just brilliant. You've got the black and white frost giants there. You've also got the Dweller in the Dark, but done properly in black and white, just beautifully. You've also got the breakdowns, plots. Also, you've got letters, pages. You've got Marvel Comics group showing the covers. You've got Marvel Mania. You've got also Conan the Barbarian issue 777. Loads and loads of examples. Just not like many of these omnibus editions. They put 1 or 2 pages. This just went I don't know everything, of course, not everything. But you've got here original arts. It goes 10. Conan the Barbarian 12. Brilliant, more and more code changes to the. And so on and so on. And also the books, had also these paperbacks that came out, and they were quite amazing at the time as well. But, this is just stunning. I mean, it's like literally about 200 odd pages of bonus material. If only all omnibus editions would include that sort of stuff, I would love it. And this is just the most amazing, most brilliant omnibus absolutely ever. Even if you're not a Conan fan, I think you'd still enjoy this. I think this is just brilliant, brilliant Conan. Now, they're actually bringing out epic editions. I noticed there's quite a few epic editions, which probably contain a fair amount of material, though I doubt if all the bonus material is included. This has got a lot of bonus material. Maybe it's spread out. There's also, of course, the Marvel Art of Conan, which also includes a lot of information, and that's a pretty good book as well. But the Conan stories, I think, just great. However, I say slightly tempered by the fact that I've been recently reading the Conan Chronicles, and I think, to be honest, the stories are actually slightly better than these ones. But they're still from the 70s. I still love them, and they're still great to read. So, Conan the Barbarian. This is the original Marvel years. Don't confuse it with the black and white one, because there's a black and white one, the Savage Sword ones, and slightly confusing. Obviously, having the 2 volumes coming out near enough parallel. So, volume 1, brilliant.